what type of limitations Saturn can put depending on the house that Saturn occupies in the Lagna chart. So if you're new to astrology or you're looking for remedies for Saturn or looking for remedies of Sade Sati, watch this video. Saturn is a planet that is far away from Sun in the solar system. So basically it is a place where light doesn't reach that often. It is a slow moving planet, and astrologically Saturn is the owner of Capricorn sign as well as Aquarius sign. Saturn's job is to create hurdles, obstacles, and test patience of people. Make them work hard. Make them understand the importance of physical labor. Depending on the house, you will have to work for the person, karakatva, objects, or situations. Even if you have exalted Saturn, even if you have Vargottama Saturn, Saturn will expect work from you. Saturn will make you work, and depending on the position, the placement of other planets, you will get the results. In short-term goals, people say Saturn is a karakatva of your career profession. But when I see horoscopes, and I see horoscopes of generations together, for example, 4 generations, I do see a close connection between the kind of work they have been doing, the kind of work their kids decided to do, grandkids decided to do, and further. That means when I see the horoscopes, I see the Saturn's position sometimes moving just by one house. Many times it doesn't move at all. You will see generations in a family having Saturn in the same sign. The house placement might change, but sign doesn't change. That means there is still karma remaining to be done in relation to the particular sign. I'm going to give an example of Saturn placed in the Cancer. Saturn placed in Cancer or Saturn placed in 4th house. That means you are supposed to work for your community, and this can be done in different ways. Usually people will be seen as astrologers, doctors, teachers, coaches, somebody who is able to work in groups, help people feel the sense of security, caring, and understanding. You could be in real estate, you could be in property management, you could be in army as well with this placement. However, your job is to make sure you are caring for people, and for that you will have to bear the emotional stress of that work. You have to show up every day, even if you feel stressed, even if you feel emotionally dry, you show up every day, help people, support them, solve their problems related to the field that you are in, and nurture them. And Saturn being an elderly planet, far away planet, dry planet, this becomes difficult task for some people. But once you realize your job is to nurture people, you will find out the ways you can do it. So in a family of 4 generations, I see somebody who was astrologer, then I see somebody who was doctor Vaidya, or somebody who was giving medicines. Then I see a teacher. I see somebody who is a homemaker or maybe owns a food restaurant or something to do with nourishment. But has the karma completely changed? No. Whether they are building homes for people, whether they are teaching in a primary school, or whether they are giving medicines, they are doing the job of nurturing and caring for people. How good they do this job, the material gains and economic situations will change. And you will see the placement in better and better nakshatras, material gains based on it. If the duty is not done the right way, If you fall short of doing your best or doing it consistently, then you will see there are hurdles in the forms of not having enough money, not having enough food, not having the right home, changing jobs continuously, or changing homes continuously, because you have failed to do your duty to that particular planet based on the placement. And now Saturn being in the first house, its job is to create some type of fear. Now let us go through all the 12 houses and see what kind of fear Saturn can create, what kind of limitations Saturn can create, so that you take the right steps to do the karma that is pending karma for you. In the first house, Saturn will create fear about, am I good enough? Do I deserve this? Will I get the right job? Will I get the right kind of profits? Or will my family feel that I am good enough? In the second house, it will create fear about, will I have enough food? Can I bring in all the resources for my family, for my close ones? Or will I have family support? And these are all justified questions, justified limitations and fears that Saturn is creating in your mind, because it wants you to work towards it, just not for yourself, but for other people as well. Saturn in the third house will always have some anxious thoughts. You will notice these people have a lot of strength. They are ready to do hard work. However, they will feel some anxious thoughts. They will feel nervousness in approaching any new task, taking up any new work. So what is the solution? Based on the house placement, you have to help the relative that the Saturn signifies. Saturn in the first house, you need to make sure, help all the professional people in your group. If you are a student, help your classmates. If you are working, help your teammates. If you are a sports person, help your team, support your team. And there could be somebody who is elderly in that team. Talk to them, seek their advice, and be thankful for that. This way, your karma will start getting better. In the fourth house, it is about your mother. Many a times people are far away from their motherland, mother, because this is a placement which creates even more hurdles. How do I do my duty towards my mother or my motherland if I am away from the place? Well, there are many ways these days in modern times where you can support your country, support your town, support your community, and support your mother. Talk to her every day. Emotional support is always needed. Saturn in the fifth house. This is a great placement because you are usually very talented, but you are given the task of staying behind in this life and making sure that you are creating path for others. Great placement for being a teacher, coach, trainer, or a great manager who will create best employees and future CEOs and C-level executives. Your duty in this life is to make sure you work for creative people, education and kids, and support them, give them means of excelling in life. In the sixth house, Saturn creates the fear about, will somebody rob me? What if this fails? What if this goes wrong? You are given this placement because you are supposed to work to solve other people's issues. This is a great placement. Somebody can be medicine professional, healthcare related work. They can be also in the hotel business, restaurant business, where people come to you because they have some issues, they have certain things that are lacking. When you are away from home, you are looking to find a home in a hotel. When you are fighting with some health issues, you need medicine. Same way, healers, psychologists, even a coach can have this placement. Saturn will make you stand up on your feet and work manually. Do the physical part of labor in that situation. depending on any house, any place. So get used to standing up literally for some time and start doing work. Even if you have kids and they have these kinds of placements, to get their Saturn maximum returns, having them better returns from the Saturn, make sure the kid stands up, talks, does some household chores, they do help elderly in the family, and this is a basic way of increasing benefits from the Saturn. If you are a parent and listening to this video, start acting right away based on the house placement of Saturn in your kids' charts. Make sure you are directing them, you are allowing them, helping them take care of this Saturn related karma. So Saturn placed in the second house, tell your child to feed somebody, donate food. Also tell them to talk nicely, respectfully with elders. And these are the small things, small changes in lifestyle, which if you start doing right from the childhood, this is going to give you great results. If you are looking for the Saturn's placement in the 7th house, all texts will say this is a position of exalted Saturn. But exalted Saturn means what? Saturn is going to be even more particular. In case you make a mistake, there will be punishment. You will have high responsibility, high success, and remember, you have even more karma that is assigned to you, and you will be able to fulfill it, because exalted Saturn will make sure that you complete that karma towards business, towards partnership, towards public. This is a powerful placement. So make sure you are ready to take the responsibility. You may see in the kind of fear this placement will give. Okay, will I get a right partner? Will I have a right business partner? Will they support me? Okay, or will I be a burden on them? Both ways you can see that. Somebody can have a fear about public speaking. They are afraid of meeting strangers, because this fear can express in different ways. The limitation that Saturn is putting can be seen in different ways. So make sure right from the childhood you work with your kids, and even if you are an adult and listening to this video for the first time now, start working on it. If you have a 7th house Saturn and you do have this kind of fear, step out, talk to people, meet people, see what you can do for them first, help them, support them, and keep in mind nobody is here to judge you. If you are coming out as somebody who is going to help others, people need support, people need help. Please do that. And this can be 7th house placement or 4th house placements are easy to take care of. Why? Because you step out and you decide to drive rash. You are troubling so many people. Saturn is also Karaka of vehicles, going from one place to another. Same way Saturn is Karaka of your feet. What do feet allow you to do? Stand up on your own and walk, move. So remember, while driving, you have to be careful and consider other people first. Follow the rules and laws of related to vehicles and traffic. This is a basic requirement Saturn wants you to follow. Saturn also wants you to let other people know that. You may find people with 7th Saturn or 4th house Saturn as in police, military, defense, simple as a home security. They will be working for the firefighters, any job which will support people, any job which you are in a public sector, somebody who comes and cleans your front yard, somebody takes away the trash. These are different ways you will find Saturn or Saturn Rahu combinations. These are the people who still have a chance to grow in life and be successful. With the kind of karma they keep on doing, you will realize people start from the bottom as an entry level position anywhere, and they slowly grow. And it is based on just not Saturn but other planets as well, but Saturn plays the major role in that. Now Saturn's placement in the 8th house. This is a placement where whatever hard work you do is not seen by others. You are working hard for others, you are working for the elderly, they could be your in-laws, they could be other relatives in the family, or you could be just a doctor taking care of patients in the hospital. This is still a placement where you will be kind of invisible. And when I say invisible, it doesn't mean you don't have fame, but you may not have people to share your emotions. 8th house is about hidden things, and Saturn usually in the 8th house will hide your emotions. So you will not have a close friend whom you can talk, or you will have a very close-knit circle, but you still feel they are not enough to express your feelings. So get used to talking, sharing things in some form or another, so that you will get the best results from this 8th house Saturn. The fears are there to test you. It is an exam, it is a trap. And once you understand the code, what is expected behavior, you will learn to follow these things. Saturn in the 9th house. You will always probably grow up since childhood with a fear that teachers are too harsh, they expect too much discipline, or they are favoring some other kid in the class. And you may have this kind of experiences all through because you are looking from that lens. Understand, these situations are created so that you work hard and prove yourself. If you think your teacher is favoring somebody else or somebody else is getting more attention, work on yourself and continue the work that you are doing. Publish things, talk about whatever you are interested in. These days you can be on the social media, express your views, your research, and see how it can help people. The whole value is if you can support somebody, if you can guide somebody, then this is a great placement. Start doing it right from the childhood. If your kid has placement of Saturn in 9th house, teach the child to thank the teachers, learn from them, and start something of own. Or maybe they can just teach the younger kids, tutor the younger kids who are 1 or 2 grades below them. They can always help somebody who is lagging in completing homework. These are the small steps. Once we understand, we can implement and get over those fears. And you will notice the first Sadesati, you are usually a kid, so you don't realize the impact of it. When the second Sadesati comes, people are usually in the mid 40s or late 30s. Somebody can be around 60 also, depending on where your moon is placed, which sign it is. And then you are wise because of experience, because of experiences you have had, because of interactions you have done with so many people. And you will realize, second Sadesati, you may be taking care of your kids and at the same time supporting your parents, supporting elderly. And second Sadesati will give you these kind of opportunities. Saturn is about the foundations. So you are here to create the foundation for the next generation, as well as you become the support structure for the previous generation. Saturn is about common people. Saturn is about day-to-day practical, normal things. So understand, your life is about standing up and starting your work. And there is no shame about doing that. Nobody wants to be completely dependent on other person. So whatever you choose, do it honestly, do it faithfully, and continue doing it consistently. As Saturn progresses, it completes one cycle, second cycle, you will see lot of success. Saturn in the first house, D1 and D9. Always remember, give other people job, support other people about their self-esteem. Tell them they are good enough. This is a great placement for telling someone that they can do it. Whatever field you choose, whether you are in the health care, whether you are in the teaching field, tell them that they are doing good. If you are in the healthcare, tell them, take this care, eat these medicines, and do this kind of changes in lifestyle, and they are doing good. Continuous support about they are doing good, or giving them confidence. That is the thing you can do. If you can employ somebody, that is a great thing. First house remedies usually help some person build their home. That's what it is said in the ancient text. That means make them feel secure, make them feel nurtured, and give them means of earning. Hope you got the answer that you are looking for. Now let me move to the 10th house placement of Saturn. Yeah, Sudhakar, I am talking about 10th house Saturn. 10th house Saturn is a great placement to have because Saturn is in its own house. That means it is going to judge about whatever karma you do in your professional life, in your social circle, as well as how you interact as a head of the family. Saturn in second house, Mrinali, remember, do not have any excess food in the home. Eat whatever you can on time and donate the food while it is in a good condition, edible condition. For the first Saturn return, remember, don't start donating food, start using kind words for people who are, you feel they are in distress, maybe they are handicapped, they don't have enough money, whatever reason, help them. At least you can use kind words. Kind words and donation of food will make the Saturn return really better, and this is your lifetime remedy. Keep doing it continuously in whatever way you can do it. Maybe you can just support one person. Start small, but do it consistently. Saturn 10th house, people usually are seen in government jobs. Nowadays I see people starting their own businesses. That means you can be the head of the organization. You will be always given economic returns for your work, and you may notice that you will always feel that your boss is somebody who is calling the shots, because Saturn in the 10th house can be about somebody dictating the terms, but you will still be respected by people who are under you, reporting to you. So this is still a good placement, and this is a placement which means your family was always active in social circles. They were supporting the community. They were regarded highly for that work, and you are given this chance to support others in this lifetime. Tell your kids also, and you may notice in the family the Saturn usually is placed either towards mother's family or father's family or in between for kids' charts. Why? Because they are born to you to continue the legacy, continue the work that you have been doing and your ancestors have been doing. Understand this and start taking steps accordingly. Now Saturn placed in the 11th house. 11th house is about sharing the position with Rahu. So you will see, you will be given certain things by your family members. You don't have to work for it. But at the same time, you will feel sometimes cheated, defeated by your friend circle. Instead of being cheated or deceived, understand and choose, it is my karma to support these people. I am choosing to have that power, have that capacity, and I am ready to do that hard work to support others. And when I say support others, you can charge for your services, but make sure you donate some portion of it. When you talk to people, talk nicely, talk respectfully. At least give people some chances by being nice, being caring, being kind. And then if things don't work, you know how you can deal with things, because these are the normal things. Other side of Saturn is being very harsh. But I would always prefer you to start on a kinder side and then go to the other side if things don't work. And that too, never insult anybody, because people will always remember how you are treating them. Do not make fun of what they lack or whatever their emotional vulnerability is. Talk to people about their strong points. Talk to people how they can be doing really well. Appreciate what they have. Thank for whatever they have done for you. And this way, Saturn will slowly understand that, okay, This is how wise people talk. This is how elderly people should talk. They should care for somebody who are younger to them and below in their social hierarchy. And these are the things which you have to do consistently. Always take responsibility, because, for example, when we build a house, there is a foundation on which the house stands. So any system, if you take the education system, the elementary school, the elementary education has to be really good so that kids can go to middle school, understand the basics, and then people will flourish. Same way, if you see the medicine related education, the first year education or a primary biology education is important, and then people will build on it. So you can start at a entry level, foundational level, make it stronger, and then people will build on it. Or you yourself can keep growing that way. But foundations are strong. They take long time, and it needs consistent work as well as consistent stress bearing, pressure bearing capacity. And that is what Saturn expects from you. So do not look for the remedy to get away from that responsibility or just to lower the stress. Yes, you can lower the stress, but don't shy away from the responsibility. You can, and how you can lower the stress? By changing the words, how you talk about Saturn. I feel stuck. I feel I'm not getting it. I feel somebody is not giving me. Don't use these words. Instead of that, use the word I am choosing to support others. I am choosing to be responsible for this. I am accountable for this, and I can do it. Priti, Saturn in Scorpio Vargottam in every Varga chart. That is a powerful placement. Make sure you are supporting people who are going through the process of transformation. And this, depending on the house placement, you will notice your ancestors have always supported somebody who was changing things, ending something, starting something new, or healing themselves. And in doing that, you might have to do some things that are in secret. The kind of work you are doing, you may not share every detail of it. Saturn in Scorpio, that is the reason you also have interest about occult science. All these energies which are healing, which are sometimes difficult to manifest and use, but use it the right way for the right cause. I thank all of you for joining this live stream. And now the last placement of Saturn, that is Saturn in the 12th house. Saturn in the 12th house is a position where people will have some fear about, am I going to have enough money? You will say 12th house is a house of peacefully sleeping or having, your private space, meditation, isolation, hospitals, jails, etc. Then from where the fear of money is coming. Also remember, you can sleep peacefully when you feel secure, when you feel you have enough for your family, and then a person can have a good night's sleep. You are physically well, you are taking all your responsibilities, and you feel good doing them. Then one can have a peaceful sleep. So this is a placement where you should help people in hospitals, jails, or people who do not have enough money. And instead of saying, I do not have enough, my loans are increasing, or why this, I have always short of money, tell yourself you are growing. For example, if you are running a restaurant or you are running a hospital that has 7 beds, 10 beds, when you try to grow, you get the loan and you now have 20 beds, 50 beds. This is how people will progress in life. Keep supporting people who are newly hires in the company, organization, or wherever you work. If Saturn is coming into the first house for the Pisces ascendants, the kind of fear will be, well, can I sleep well? Am I good enough? what I can do or how I can run away sometimes from this stress. Instead of thinking about running away from some responsibility, choose to go through that burden, that difficult situation it may feel, and it may not be that difficult, because sometimes Pisces people tend to be more imaginative because they are usually very creative. This is a great sign. Once you understand I am capable of doing it, you feel very powerful. You feel, okay, I can do it the right way. I am choosing to support. Once you take the choice in your hands, the kind of words you use to talk to your mind, the perspective changes. And you will notice there are so many people who may not have what you are having, what you are already given. So look at it and start working. Take that responsibility and help someone get a day's job, some of our work, and you will notice you will have those kind of opportunities when Saturn is transiting through the first house. You may feel, okay, I do not belong here, people have more knowledge than me, or people are more expert in certain situations, and it is okay. Continue focusing on the work that you do. Side by side, start learning things continuously, and one day you will realize once Saturn moves to the next house, you have grown so much in life. Sadesati is about growth. And typically when Saturn is moving through the houses of Jupiter, you will realize people grow wise, they understand things, and they are genuinely turning into somebody who can support others. Hope all the 12 houses of Saturn placements are clear to all of you, and the remedies that you can do, the kind of change of perspective you can use in going through them. Do not go for any shortcuts, do not go for any escape mechanism. If you are feeling the pressure of work, the work will be always there. That is a good part. You have a job, you have work, and there are so many people who will not have a job and they are looking for a job. They must be thinking, people who have jobs are so fortunate. Sometimes having work is always good. Not having work can be more difficult situation. But understand, if you are somebody who doesn't have work looking for a job, Saturn has something else in mind for you. Maybe Saturn wants to take care of somebody in the family for you now. Maybe they want you to look after your own health at this point. Try to look at the placement and see what else is needed for this. How I can do that. And even if it is a household work, do not consider it to be less. You are taking care of elderly in the family, you are feeding the people, you are taking care of all the household chores, and that is a big work. We tend to respect more who earns money, but once you have the money, all these tasks are also taken care of. Somebody is needed for that. Do not consider any work to be big, less, small, or not good enough. Saturn is about actual physical labor. So whether you are a teacher, organizer, event manager, you will have to work. Somebody has to work in the home. Somebody has to work in the hospital. Work is all equal, and I think it's high time that we all understand that. In our starting from the ancient times, a village would have different people who do different businesses. There used to be a jeweler, there used to be a person who would do the job of maybe a carpenter, somebody who would create utensils. All types of jobs are equal. And if you are a homemaker, you are taking care of family, taking care of everybody in the family. And it's not easy. The kind of emotional support you give, the kind of service you provide to your family members, do it with your full heart, with love. And always think there could be somebody who is thinking about, what if I have parents? What if I would have had a child and they don't have parents, they don't have kids, they don't have any elderly in the home to bless them. Saturn will make things better for you when you accept the responsibility and keep working. And to give the assurance to your mind, use the right words. And hence, Saturn, when goes over moon, people feel so much negativity because they are focusing towards what they lack, what they cannot do, what kind of fears they have. The moment you look at it from the perspective of what I have, what I can do, you will realize you are given so many things. You change the perspective towards your physical work. I understand, I'm not saying it is easy. Doing any kind of physical work is difficult. Even supporting somebody continuously, emotionally is not easy. It takes toll on you. But do what you can do to best of your capacity and do it from a position of power. Instead of feeling helpless, instead of feeling the victim of the system, instead of always complaining, finding faults, do it from a power position. And definitely there are so many things which are blessings in our life we don't understand because we are thinking from just one perspective. I work with people and I understand a same thing can be a blessing for somebody else who comes to me. Significance of Nirupam, significance of 9th house lord in the 12th house. Basically, you may learn from someone who is far away, or maybe you can have an imaginative figure as your guru, as your mentor or teacher, or you are choosing to have somebody who is in isolation to guide you, somebody who is in a confined space. Maybe you are somebody whose work is going there and guiding people in isolation. A great placement for somebody who is working behind the walls, a doctor, astrologer, because you need to have the privacy and still help people get over their losses. Saturn goes 5th from moon, that means it is asking about, well, you were trying to go ahead in the competition, but by taking some different wrong means. Now help people rise in life, be a great mentor. 5th from moon, it's always about, if you don't have kids, that is the time people will have kids. That is the time when you will get somebody young and mentor them. Saturn in Maga for Pisces ascendant. Saturn in Maga is a great placement. You have Pisces ascendant. Always remember your ancestors have blessed you. What goes out comes in. So if you are looking for something that I want this, you will find people similar around you. They are also looking for the same thing. They are working towards the same goal. Help them, support them, be a good team member, and always seek blessings from your ancestors and thank them. Because you will get a chance to give back glory to somebody who have lost it, and at one point they were very successful. Whenever Saturn aspects any house or any lord, it means it is watching over that whether you are completing the work assigned in that house, whether you are doing it lawfully, consistently, and with right attitude. Whenever Saturn aspects the 159 kind of the trick triangle, it means you are a person who will be respected socially, openly, publicly, if you take the responsibility. And everybody can do it in their own way. I know many people with this placement who are excellent language teachers. They are great drama teachers. At one point, they always wanted to be the lead in the drama or be the principal of the school, but they have started their own businesses. Now they mentor people, and the students, their students, bring all the glory that they wanted at one time. And now they are known as the best mentors, best trainers, and best teachers. And now they have all the name and fame that they wanted. Saturn in Purvashada for Sagittarius ascendant. That means your Saturn is placed in the... When this happens, it is a great placement. Remember that. And I think my class is going to start pretty soon. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for listening to this live video and your support. Thank you. Namaste. Shubhamastu.